God is asking you to let go of the weights you have carried for far too long. Give up the things that will not help you on your trip. Your spirit must learn to adapt to its own metamorphosis, just as the seasons change and flow according to their own will. The wonderful reminder to let go comes with the falling of the autumn leaves. Give thanks and acknowledge the changes that are occurring on the inside of you. There is light at the end of the dark tunnel you have been walking through, thanks to tonight's full moon. Your advancement already has the foundation laid. Let's now see them grow and prosper. Please use this as a symbol of your trust in God, if it is one. Reduce the amount of time you spend thinking about the sincerity of the things that others say to you. Rather, concentrate on staying authentic and shining your own light along the way. Everything is visible to the cosmos, and everything will eventually come to light in the right sequence. Invest your efforts in the things that are most important. Your sincerity and your development as a person. The universe has organized your blessings such that they correspond with your true aspirations. You will be in the winner's circle if you remain true to who you are. Type Amen to claim this revelation. Show this video to 5 devout Christians. At some time in your life, you will have to confront some realities. You have to know the truth in order to go on. God is leading you through a major turning point in your life as you go on to the next phase. Notwithstanding the difficulties you have had in the past, God is giving you eternal joy. Prepare to see miracles and the goodness of God shown in your life. He'll soon revise the diagnosis, break curses, let go of anxieties, and kick addictions. Enjoy the new things that God is about to do. Your previous suffering will no longer trouble you. He is the God of healing and restoration. As you proclaim the wishes of your heart, say Amen and bask in His blessings. You wouldn't have to endure a life of perpetual fear and hopelessness if you could just see what God has in store for you. God will soon make the connections in your life, putting together plans and contacts that will support you. Even if you've had many failures and disappointments, God has a plan to raise beauty from the ruins. You still have time to live your best life. Sometimes what seems like the end is actually the start of something new. Spend a few minutes thanking God when you feel like everything is crushing you. If you choose to follow the beautiful things He has planned for you, enter yes. Worshipping God and experiencing His unwavering love may help you to assess your circumstances and reduce your anxiety and sense of helplessness in the face of life's challenges. I hope and pray that you experience joy and serenity all day long as you recognize the love and closeness of the Father. God's timing may not line up with ours, and there are times when we are unable to understand His methods. On occasion, you may be better equipped to take advantage of a situation than others are. To realize God's perfect timing, all the parts must come together. Your prayers will be answered in God's perfect timing if you believe in His flawless plan. Type yes to indicate that you agree. Future uncertainty and financial hardship are frequent occurrences. Having said that, God has planned every detail of your life, so you don't need to worry about the future. God's purpose for you is quite obvious. All that He does is according to His plan. It is His will that matters, not your skills, your upbringing, or your flaws. Your life is under God's control, therefore what is happening to you right now is not accidental. Every decision you make in every circumstance you encounter has a reason. As a part of His plan to lead you to your destiny, God has even blocked doors. To show that you agree with God's plan, type yes. I think it's important to tell someone that God made the path that lies ahead of them. Now is the time to look into it. It is your responsibility to seize the chance that God has given you. Put an end to your overly critical self-talk. As Jesus continues to work in your life, proceed to the next section. Never question why you are here or if God has given you the right impression. Having enough money, knowledge, or ability is not the issue. God's plans for your life and its connection to His righteousness are what really count. It's possible that your assailant exploited ignorance, errors, and restrictions as a staple diet to immobilize you. Answer the call from God and silence the critic. Recall that He picked you, and here is your opportunity to follow His advice. Say that you're ready to assume the initiative. If you don't understand God's system, it may be rather hard to trust Him. Feel overpowered by life's obstacles, alone, deceived, or abandoned. But trust, not knowledge, is the foundation of faith. Never forget that God is with you and for you, especially in the moments when it seems like everything is crumbling. He behaves morally and is good. Embrace your faith and persevere through difficult times. Say you're prepared to concentrate on the positive. The battle you have with belief is the most significant and continuous one you will face. You will come to believe less in God's kindness, faithfulness, and love as a result of the enemy's crafty schemes. He will attempt to persuade you that you are undeserving or that your limitations will stand in the way of God's purpose for your life. But holding on to religion is not a passive battle. Rather, it is an active one. Reject the enemy's falsehoods by steeping yourself in God's promises. Hold tight to your resolve to live in accordance with God's word. If you're willing to accept the task, I promise that belief will be your most valuable asset. God will always use everything He takes away from you for your own advantage. He is wise enough to recognize when something is no longer helpful, even in circumstances when you might not be able to see it. God knows when to close some doors in your life, even when you're not ready for it to happen. He's always thinking forward to your next move, leading you to a better position and a more satisfying life. Make your ambitions clear and show that you're eager to grow, knowing that God is attentively hearing your prayers and paying attention to you might give you peace of mind. Though in a way unique to Him, your concepts are coming to pass. He may sometimes choose a different path than you, but His approach is always the best. When you start to distance yourself from individuals you used to love while pleading for contentment, that's a clue that your enthusiasm for these people is waning. Perhaps God is trying to tell you that if you give up your job and go for serenity, there may be a brighter future waiting for you down the road. And if you experience heartbreak after asking for attention, perhaps God is trying to get you to make better choices. Give anything credit when it strikes a chord with you. It is conceivable that we find God's ways enigmatic. We occasionally pray to God in times of confusion and loss, looking for direction and answers. God understands what is really essential to us, even when we ask for things and people that we think would delight us. We are forgiven of our transgressions, errors, and wrongdoings by God's boundless love, even if we may not completely understand it, and worrying about what lies ahead, God has a plan for us. It is our duty to have confidence in Him and His magnificent scheme. Upon acknowledging this reality, our trust in God provides solace for the uncertainties of the future. Keep in mind that, although God's plan will be made clear in His perfect time, our confidence in Him provides us with security when faced with life's uncertainties. Jesus knew that worrying too much about the future would take our focus away from the task at hand. Concerns about future exist. We must always keep our attention on the thing that is directly in front of us. Give our anxieties and doubts about the future to God and put your confidence in Him. We will be more equipped to handle any issues that come up tomorrow if we give God our worrying now and have faith that He is watching over us. Process weight is a typical occurrence during stressful and transitional times. Never lose sight of the fact that you are on the path to greatness, despite the challenges that lie ahead. Through your struggles, you are molding and refining your life. In the same way that a sculptor turns a block of stone into a great work of art. Your wounds can give you strength, but they can also heal others, but also enhance and raise other people's lives. Even if it might seem like you're taking a strange and terrible path, God's magnificent plan is always in action. Now is the moment to become closer to Him. Sometimes, even when it seems like everything is falling apart, God uses these situations to lead you toward something greater and more meaningful. You will be able to reflect on the difficulties later and see how He guided you throughout those difficult moments. Never lose sight of the fact that God hears your prayers, even in your moments of confusion, fear, or hopelessness. He has seen your unshakable dedication to Him, and, in the face of great adversity, your unwavering faith in Him. God is ready to reward you for your perseverance and faith with His grace, healing, answers, miracles, and divine favor. Seeking spiritual direction is essential, particularly when facing a difficult decision or being trapped in life. God may provide guidance via the Bible, advice from friends, or the nudging of His Spirit, among other sources. God could even occasionally send you signals from above to direct you. The key is to seek His direction in prayer. Don't attempt to deny the ways in which God could be directing you. Just like highways include signs to help motorists reach their destinations, you might ask for specific instructions from above to go back on the proper route. Then politely request that you not ignore the clue that God has provided for you. God's grace never stops assisting us in finding our way, even if it is inevitable that we may occasionally miss the cues. Like any journey, sometimes we have to make turns to get back on the correct road. It is evidence of God's wisdom and patience. Think about this claim and assert ownership of it if you concur. Please input almond to show that you agree with these ideas and that you accept them as true. God is telling you clearly today, you are about to enter the location that He has painstakingly prepared for you. You'll soon see why the difficulties you've encountered have been so formidable. Maybe the opponent had covered up your eyesight, led you to dismiss the words of life that God had spoken to you. However, remember that just over the barriers lies a place reserved only for you. God is leading you right now to that exact place. You'll now understand why the battle was so hard. He's been practicing. Even in the face of hardship and misfortune, you will find thankfulness, since they have made it possible for you to arrive to the magnificent location He has for you. Remind yourself that you are more protected than you can ever realize by telling yourself, I'm gentle with myself, to demonstrate your acceptance of this message. It's okay to let another degree of assistance into your life with an open heart. From your cosmic family, soul family, or creatures of celestial light. Let them have the benefit of the doubt and unease. These responsibilities are no longer solely your responsibility. Allow your heavenly allies to lead the way and seize the chances they present. However, God wants you to know that this year marks the start of something wonderful and fresh. This year, you will see the defeat of the enemy, the Lord's presence among you, and the manifestation of His favor. Accept your inner strength and your readiness for the amazing things that lie ahead of you. Prepare yourself for a major setback from certain people as you advance in your walk with God. Hold your head high, be grateful, and have a positive mindset. The angels urge you to be strong and self-assured despite obstacles that seem to be in the way of your objectives. Instead of letting failures depress you, rely on your own abilities to concentrate on your objectives. It will be beneficial to tackle these objectives gradually and incrementally. If you had the same level of clarity as we do to glimpse your future, numerous anxieties and phobias would vanish. Acknowledge the worth and beauty you possess from birth. At last, a noteworthy breakthrough is now available for you to utilize. Decide to let go of the past and the previous version of yourself. Ensure that the true you matures. Success, joy, and overall well-being are all in store for you. In the future, you have promises and opportunities. Decide to be the person you truly deserve and to enjoy life to the fullest. It's critical to look ahead instead of back. This is the beginning of your special trip. Think about self-care and select yes if you're prepared for this change. 5 persons who share these ideas should get this message. Don't wait to achieve your objectives. The perfect moment may never come. With the resources available to you, begin where you are. Along the way, you will ultimately get access to better instruments. This serves as a reminder to concentrate on your path rather than waiting for the perfect circumstances. Remain resolute and acknowledge your inner power, conquering challenges and never giving up. All you have to do is take advantage of the amazing opportunities that are presented to you. Listen to this message. It's time for you to make a positive change in your life. Wealth, contentment, and good health are in store for you. Proceed, focus on the unique characteristics that define you, and relish the voyage that lies ahead. This angel's lesson is a gentle reminder that you are either nearing the end of a big project or are at a crossroads in your life when a big choice has to be made. It's an appeal for you to pause and think, where you may confidently make decisions by carefully evaluating the course of your life. You may relax knowing that everything has been set up for you and that the law will be on your side. Wealth, contentment, and good health are in store for you. Proceed, focus on the unique characteristics that define you, and relish the voyage that lies ahead. This angel's lesson is a gentle reminder that you are either nearing the end of a big project or are at a crossroads in your life when a big choice has to be made. It's an appeal for you to pause and think, where you may confidently make decisions by carefully evaluating the course of your life. You may relax knowing that everything has been set up for you and that the law will be on your side. It's also reasonable to anticipate doing well on any upcoming tests, whether they be certification or academic related. It is advised that you ask your spirit guides for assistance at a quiet moment, using a notebook and pen. Ask them for assistance while you think about what in your life needs to be released, healed, or altered. Additionally, get detailed guidance on how to implement these positive life changes. The days of realizing why your current challenges matter will arrive, even though they now seem overwhelming. You will then be looking at the benefits that have resulted from your struggles. God has not completed your life. Beauty is just around the corner. Your later years will surpass your earlier years in magnificence. God is laying the foundation for your climb into the next dimension, so where you are right now is simply the beginning. Remember that you are only getting started on your road, and that things will only get better, even if they may feel hopeless right now. Type Omen if you think there is still hope for brighter times to come. Your opponent knows that you are about to win. he is able to perceive the supernatural activity and divine favor that surrounds you. He's stepping up his attempts to derail and slow you down because of this. Even though the fighting is growing harder, the enemy is getting more aggressive since they think you could launch a surprise strike. You might still feel tired and hurt from it, though. Understanding why the opponent is attacking is crucial. No matter how hard he tries, he cannot undo God's major intervention in your life. If you need to cry to express your feelings, that's okay too. You are evolving into something extraordinary. But the process of refinement can sometimes be challenging and shocking. You have the potential to be a very strong force for good. Your path will be amazing in spite of the difficulties because of the healing light that flows from your pain and affects other people. Actually, the process of transitioning is fascinating. Your actual strength and purpose become apparent. When you make the shift from sadness to success, you'll be even more amazed when you look back on your formative years. So embrace the process and keep going. God, please lead me so that I can rest easy, knowing that you are always in charge, even in the times when I can't feel your calm. Knowing this now allows me to greet every day with joy and gratitude. Remind yourself, if you need to, that you are not broken by your current circumstances. Remember that there is a beautiful side to your path, even though you may feel broken and like there is no hope right now. You have yet to write your best chapters. To express your belief in God's plan, type I, trust it. You don't need to worry. God is getting ready to return the years that were taken from you. God is not only providing an incredible, enigmatic benefit, but he is also making amends. All that the enemy has taken from you, he will give back to you. Never forget that God is the Almighty, and that a breakthrough is about to come your way. Type I believe. To demonstrate your belief in God's ability to heal, God would remind you that he has planned an endless route for you. There is going to be a breakthrough that you have never known. Keep in mind your ideal future even though you may be going through a difficult time at the moment. You'll possess the tenacity to see a project through to completion in order to make your breakthrough. Be fortunate and inspired. To bolster your confidence, you could type I have faith in my breakthrough. God occasionally uses hardship and tragedy to make his purpose clear. He may need to take some items out of your life in order to create room for fresh, colorful blessings. Certain relationships may change in different ways as a result of these changes. If you're ready, type yes and show this video to 5 devout Christians. Please subscribe to our channel and enable bell notification as a way for us to help